Hello there, Larrys. It is I, the vicious scumbag. And across from me
is your honorable sensei.
And together we are
Longturnlarry podcast.
And we're coming to you with a wonderful year-end recap. No, it's not time for taxes. It's time to look at some of the awesome cards that were brought to you in the year 2024.
Even if it was time for taxes, you mother wouldn't even pay the one.
That's right. Uncle Sam begged and you let the fish get away with it.
On his first birthday, you let him die.
You let him die. No cumulative upkeep. So these are just going to be, some good sorceries, some good instants, enchantments, artifacts, creatures, you name it. We're going to give you our 3 favorite cards from these sets, and they are not reprints. So we hope you sit back and relax and enjoy some of our favorite cards from 2024. Honorable, you want to kick us off?
Let's start off with artifacts.
Ooh.
Artifacts had a good year this year.
Yes.
Especially the equipment players.
Mm-hmm.
So, my number 3 is Chainsaw.
That's right. What was it? Evil Dead? No, it was Evil Dead. Yeah.
Evil Dead.
That's right.
This thing is gone in many decks that I play because creatures just die, man.
Yeah, this is a weirdly effective, cheap, like lightning bolt.
It's a lightning strike.
Mm-hmm.
Deals 3 damage to a target creature. And then whenever one or more creature dies, remember that one or more, people be cheating. Put a rev counter on it. Equipped creature gets +X+0, where X is the number of rev counters.
I love that this gains rev counters when it's not equipped. It doesn't have to kill them. It doesn't have to deal the damage. And you're right. Watch out for that or more. But no, Chainsaw was super good. And I mean, it's a rare. I think it's in a good spot. It's a 2-drop, 3 equip. 5 isn't super heavy. I think Chainsaw was awesome.
Come up good. I cut you so bad, you wish I never cut you.
In mine and the artifact realm, my number 3 is the World Waker Helm. This is going to be something I fell in love with when we made our Iron Man deck tech. Shouts out to the previous videos. Iron Man. Yeah, aka the Dr. Doom special. 2 generic and a blue, you get an artifact that whenever you create 1 or more artifact tokens, you create that and a map.
I'm the map!
This thing is just, it helps out in so many scenarios, and it's very low to the ground, and getting that extra thing to eat, and it also went into the Arna Skinnerud deck as well. Like, World Waker has fit in a lot of like decks that synergize with equipments and creating artifacts. This thing it's done a lot, and I think it's a super cool card.
My number 2 is better than yours.
Oh yeah?
It's from the same set.
That's right.
Simulacrum Synthesizer. Ooh, and they're both 3 drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's better.
And they're both blue.
The blue. Whenever Simulacrum Synthesizer enters, you scry to. You get your little fix and
Look at it.
look at it.
Look at it.
Put it at the bottom. Look at it.
Look at it.
Put it at the bottom. And when an artifact with mana value 3 or more enters, you create a construct.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is bananas.
And it's in the same things that World Waker was in. They went together so good.
Yeah, both of them are in my Paul Walker deck.
Too fast.
Too fast, too furious, don't crash
Oh.
into that tree.
This is the 3-drop sad robot maker. I just realized.
Constructs.
Yeah. Well, no, the simulacrum.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. This is the sad robot production.
These robots aren't sad. They're just big.
Big. I have to agree. Again, this card fits in so many spots. My number 2 is, again, like what you're saying, this is like the year for equipments. We had some super good equipments. We have Cadeicus Staff of Hermes. It is a 2 generic and a white for an equipment that gives them lifelink, and if you have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets 5/5, indestructible, and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature, equipped for 2 white.
Oh, Cadesis.
Thank you. Cadesis Staff of Hermes. Trust me, English is my second language. My first is body. Don't worry, he's shaking his head. I hope it made one of you facepalm. But the Staff of Hermes is, again, like, you know, for the commander format, you know, as long as you have 30 or more life, this is, as long as you're not getting beat up, this thing just immediately, whatever it's equipped to, it's beautiful.
They knew what they were doing this, putting it at 30 or more life. They know how they should have.
Yeah.
10 more than your starting life total. This would have been fair. The fact that it's 30 life is just like, yeah, as soon as I equip this thing is 5+5+ life, indestructible. Prevent all damage. Why you need both?
Yeah, like literally. Oh, well, you know why. You get the other one because prevent all damage gets around wither and infect and...
Who?
I know. It's super situational, but well, not crazy, but it's good. Hermes knew what he was doing.
Fabulous party. You know, I haven't seen this much love in a room since Narcissus discovered himself.
Are you sure?
I haven't held the staff. Oh, heal me.
And I think our number ones are exactly the same.
They are. 100%.
In 3, 2, 1.
Excalibur, Sword of Eden.
This thing's ridiculous, bro.
It is.
Like, I remember when they printed, when I first saw this card was going to be like made, I was just like, this isn't real.
Yeah, I thought it was fake, or at least that the numbers were wrong. You know what I mean? Like the rough values I thought were wrong.
I feel so bad for the people who bought this at $21.99 because I bought this for $5.
Yep. Oh, I pulled mine. We got ours out of a pack. I didn't have to buy a what's it called? Like a solo. Like we pulled an Excalibur. And Larry's, this thing is so cool. This is another one of those cards to where it just fits. It's like, what was the other equipment that just fit in everything? Oh, like Shadow Spear. Like this is like a Shadow Spear.
This is like, here is your equipment starting lineup. All of these sort ofs are just the good ones.
Yeah, they're all good.
Hammer of Nizan.
Yep.
Shadow Spear. Sword of Excalibur, Sword of Eden. Caduceus.
Yep.
And if you're red, play Chainsaw.
And an honorable mention that's not from 24, Embercleave. Yeah. But it's a nasty red equipment.
I don't play.
I don't play with the Embercleave. But no, again, the year of the equipment, man. Like the staff, and the sword, these were incredible. What was it? The Assassin's Creed this tiny little set had some very nice cards in it. That was a really good one.
It was a really good one for beating people up and stealing their shit.
Yes. Oh, historic love as well. A lot of historic love.
Let's get into these enchantments. You're an enchanty guy. How about you?
Ooh, I gotcha. So I'm going to go not necessarily in power with these. Sometimes I'm just picking what I loved. So for my number 3 spot, I have Case of the Locked Hothouse. So this was one of the first, cases that we got to see. It was the enchantment series. And so with this one, it's a 4-drop that allows you to play an additional land. And then to quote unquote solve them, they have requirements. This one is if you have 7 or more lands at the beginning of your end step, then you have solved the case of the Locked House. Once you've solved it, you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may play land cards and cast creatures and enchantments from the very top. Case of the Locked House made my Bonnie Paw Clear Cutter deck. It fits everything I'm trying to do. I get to play additional lands. It was just like that new effect. And I loved the case mechanic. I thought that was really cool. I liked cases and I liked doors. I thought the two of those were unique.
Enchantments, as they always do, get sick and tired of enchantments. Always get good stuff.
Yes, I think some of the best wordings are always put on enchantments.
Like, bro, get tired. I'm starting to hate.
Not enough love for the others.
But I will talk about an enchantment that I absolutely love. And this is it. I haven't found a deck for it.
Oh, I feel that. I actually tried really hard to pick cards that I had either used or was really wanting to.
This is my favorite enchantment to see play in standard, and I want to put it in the deck. Mm-hmm. It didn't fit in the decks I put it in, but I'm going to find a deck for it. It is Insidious Roots.
Oh, yes.
Creature tokens you control, tap to add a mana of any color. That's crazy that this was just tacked on.
Yeah. Like an afterthought.
Like an afterthought. And then whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 plant creature token, then put a +1/+1 counter on it for each plant you control.
Oh, this would be so cool. I get what you're thinking. A good old plant token mana
Not even
dork.
necessarily like a plant token. You just need like a deck that like things are entering and leaving your graveyard all the time. Mm-hmm. And I only have one, but it's black. It's just mono black.
Oh man, yeah. This could be a Golgari. Yeah, Golgari would love that.
This doesn't fit in Modratha because we don't do this all the time.
I think Insidious Roots. I think Insidious Roots is really pretty. 100%. Next on my number 2, I have Caretaker's Talent. This is, coming from the Bird set, the Bloom Burrow set with all the offspring mechanic. And I loved this because we got, yet another token draw effect. And the classes always are either really good or meh. And this one was very good. 2 generic and a white for whenever one or more tokens enter, you may draw a card. Only triggers once each turn. Each turn, though, so you can take advantage of like a card that we'll mention later. Takes advantage of it. And then the second level up for a white, whenever it becomes level 2, you create a token that's a copy of a token you control. And then at 4, it becomes an anthem that's 2/2 for creature tokens. I loved the rabbit and, bats and all the little critters. And the fact that there was so much token love in this set. Caretakers is awesome. I'm sad it's very expensive now.
How much is it?
It's $20 at least.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, I know, but it's. I was hoping it would be cheaper.
My number 2 is more expensive than yours.
Dun dun dun.
No, it's about the same.
Actually, they're about almost identical, and same set.
Innkeeper's Talent. Who cares about you being taken care of?
Look at that mole.
You need somewhere to sleep.
He's so good.
So, Innkeeper's Talent, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. It's innocent. That's innocent. Always get a counter, triggering your counter effects.
Good build, slow but good.
For a green,
hey, it's a 2-drop.
Creatures you control that have counters, have Ward 1. Ward 1's innocent, come on. You could pay 1. You could pay
board wide.
Right, you could board wide. Come on, it's not that bad. And then you upgrade it again, if you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead.
Oh, yeah. So good. Lots of mana.
What do I need doubling season for?
That's what I was just thinking. It's cheap, but this does so much for you. And then by the time it's at the end, it's giving 2/2 at the beginning of each combat, and then they still gain ward, and then you probably have other synergies. Oh yeah. Look at that happy mole. He looks like he's like the mayor of a very like quiet town in some remote part of a nature.
No, he's just the he's got the key to the city. He's not the mayor.
He's like the welcoming party.
Exactly.
He's just trying to make you feel, that you're welcomed. No, Innkeepers is super cool. I loved all the ones that are on beginning and they're not until end of turn. And then my favorite is Midnight Snack. 2 generic and a black for an enchantment that has raid at the beginning of your end step. If you attack this turn, create a food token. And then for 2 generic and a black, you can sacrifice this enchantment and target opponent loses X life, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn. Midnight Snack fits so well into our Ygritte concept, and Honorable has already had a really good food deck. And I hadn't really gotten into foods, but I wanted to because I loved seeing how they interacted. You had sacrifice synergies and artifact synergies and the life gain and then ETBs and token creation. And I mean, there was a lot that goes on with food decks. And Midnight Snack is such a cool engine piece for you to continually make foods. I love it. And the artwork on it is so good.
I mean, you didn't have to put me on the list,
Oh, Midnight Snack. Ow. Just kidding. He is the honorablest sensei. And yes, I love the foods.
This is a card that we needed desperately.
Yes.
This is a card because black, for whatever reason, mono black is terrible at self-mill. I don't understand why.
On paper, it pretends that it's not. It's like,
So,
we're
hey,
the best.
Hey, bro, you see that thing in the graveyard? I'll bring that thing back for 1 mana, for 2 mana.
Don't make me do it.
Dog.
I don't have to do it.
Dog, I don't
have to do it.
Hey, bro, can you just put that from the top of my library into the graveyard? What do you mean?
Impossible.
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 Ripples of Undeath is glorious.
And it's cheap.
For
it's so
1 generic and a black, it's an enchantment. The beginning your pre-combat main phase, mill 3 cards. That is enough.
Yes.
That is enough.
And we've gotten more of these too. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
Then you may pay 1 mana in 3 life. If you do, put a card from among those cards into your hand.
Chef's kiss. I love it. Ripples combines with so many commanders. It's the fact that it's a generic and a black too. It's not like it's like green and black or blue and black. It's the fact that it's generic and a black. It can fit in a lot of places. It's cheap, so it gets out early.
This is in your opening hand, bro.
Oh, it's so good.
Bro, it's so great. I love this card. This is such an include to a lot of my decks that just so happen need to self-mill. And it's like $5.
Oh yeah, and that's like for the nice holographic
This is like Sylvan Library, but it mills you.
I took the words out of my mouth. I was like, it's like an inversed Sylvan Library almost. Still giving you the card advantage and allowing you to like look through and filter. And then of course you're setting yourself up for it. Oh no. Awesome. Awesome enchantment. I don't think enchant's got as much love as artifact, but there were some good ones.
We had 2 whole sets we had a whole set that was nothing but enchantments.
Yes.
Duskmorn.
Yeah, Duskmorn.
And then the set before that, we got all of the Keeper's talents.
Yeah. It was like back to back.
Now we got a lot of it.
Oh, no, okay, no, you're right. We did get back to back. I forgot they were all enchantment creatures. Oh yeah, like the glimmers. I totally forgot about the glimmers.
And the overlords.
Yes.
And
the fear
and
ofs.
the fears.
Yeah, I forgot those were enchantments.
Enchantments 8 this year. They better get nothing next year. I don't want to see a single enchantment printed in 2025.
So I guess we can continue on to our slow spells. The sorcery.
Hey, they might be short bus shouties, but we love them nonetheless. I'm going to take the lead. They freed my homie Thug. Thug is free.
Ooh.
So we about to slime against humanity.
Slime.
You're
You about to slime on him?
we about to slime on Cud. About to run up on Cud.
Yo, these are so cool. I love every variant of these.
The reason why you haven't seen Jadzi is because I am going to make Jadzi my slime season.
Ooh, slime season.
Slime
Ooh,
season.
slime season. Slime against humanity is so cool. Yeah, tell the Larry about your slime. Tell the youngs about them slimes.
Slimes don't get they don't get oozes. Let's be real. The creatures
don't use their government.
Oozes. Ooh.
Ooh.
They don't get a lot of love.
No.
So the fact that they made this, in the fact that like this, you don't have to like cast them to get like bigger slimes. You can just have them in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I love this cycle of you may have any number of cards named.
Mm-hmm. And Larry's quick mention, Thrumming Stone. If you ever want to play any of these decks. Oh yeah.
Boo, that's boring.
It's not.
It's boring. Boo, get him out of here.
He talked about the slimes. I'm going to bring it to the beans. I remember when we first saw these, seeing what I had to choose to pay absolutely warmed my heart. I adore these. It is the Seasons cards. We have the Season of Weaving. For 4 generic blue, you have a sorcery that says choose up to 5, and then it has a little paw pad. Beans. Of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. And then you can go through, and these are modular or like sprees or however you want to look at it. But they're always really cool because they normally allow you to do one of them a bunch of times, or you can turn it into it does 2 of these things, they're just, I loved all of them. I mean, honestly, I think every color of these that they made were cool. It's just the beans being a choice.
Nah, the red one sucked. I think. And I think the black one sucked.
It was, there were some that were like, the blue and the green one were really good.
Now let's talk about this green one here, because that's my next card. How you know? It's like you looking at my list. Were you Santa Claus? You checking my list?
Twice.
Ooh. Am I naughty or nice, kid?
Ooh.
I'm still hooked up on slime season.
You saw slime season so hard. I'm still hooked
on slime season. So we about to gather up the homies. Aye. Season of Gathering. It's really, if 3 paw pads wasn't on here, this card would be buns.
Yeah.
We have so many of these effects now. I've gone on like an aggro spree lately. No control, no, let's wait, let's think about it. I've been beating up people.
Huh?
Yeah, you gotta bring it to them.
When you go to the gym, you getting stronger, you need to draw some cards. Guess what? Season of Gathering gonna show up on you.
I'm not just lifting for looks, all right?
And then it's also artifact or enchantment removal. All of those types you get to choose. And then if you already got a ton of cards in your hand, we about to buff up. Good. He about to trample on vigilance. He can run away from the police and hit multiple.
Ooh.
Bow.
He got the skills to pay the bills. And it's the season of taking everything from you. No, agreed. Like I said, I loved the season cards. I kind of agree though. All these, like, they keep making a bunch of these, like, you can do all of it. And it's like, that's cool. But like, we don't have to have so much power.
Actually, like, you can only do, if it was 6 beans, you could do all of it.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, I think they did that on purpose so that they wouldn't be, because if you did all of them every time, it would just, they'd be crazy strong. Oh, man. And now for my favorite sorcery. This one is from Foundation, so the most recent. This is a hilarious card. The flavor text, the card itself, everything about this screams to my soul. The inner goblin of the Vicious Scumbag is joy with Goblin Negotiation. For X generic red, we have a sorcery that states Goblin Negotiation deals X damage to target creature. Then you create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this way.
So you just gonna kill one goblin. That's a 1/1 to make like 50 more goblins.
Yes. I can't wait to use this. They're gonna be like, what are you doing? We're like, you see that rabbit token? I'm gonna spend 39 mana. 2 of it is red to deal 37 damage to it.
What did that rabbit token do to you, bruh?
We needed to negotiate. Here are my 36 friends. I mean, it's such a stupid way to make them, but it's just such a goblin creation.
No, that sounds like an episode of Goblin Slayer.
It does. What do you mean you just did all that excess damage? Trust me.
Ew, I like them. I like goblins. Ah!
Trust me, that female rabbit's not about to have a great time.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no. It's about to get malevolent in here.
Oh no.
That rabbit's gonna have to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
This is my number 1 sorcery. Malevolent Rumble. It is crazy. This card is like so good for no reason.
And it's a common.
It's a common. Like, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. We're already eating. I ain't need no more. Guess what?
They're like, hey.
Here's a spawn. I'm like, what?
They're like, I know you don't need it, but take this tiny,
Tiny
little
Eldrazi boy.
Eldrazi boy. Little
Like-
Ulamog dog.
Like,
Ula
bro,
dog.
this feeds your graveyard and ramps you into next turn, bro. Why did they do this? Why
Again,
did they do this?
A common
A
too.
common.
Yeah, these were incredible. If it would have said put a permanent card from your hand on the battlefield, though, I would have been like, wait, whoa.
Wait, what?
Not like this.
But bro, like usually it's like you can grab a land.
Yeah, it specifies the type, and if you don't hit that type, it normally doesn't give it to you. The fact that it's just like a permanent, you can go grab that.
Put that in your hand. Not on top of your library. We would have still been eating if it was on top of your library. I'd still cast this card.
Yeah.
This card would still be good. In your hand. It's tough.
Too tough.
Now we're getting flashy.
Oh,
Getting quick. I'm going to talk about some instants.
we gotta talk about it right now. This instant.
Can we get one of these out the way? We both got it.
Where is it on your rank? I'm curious. Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Great Train Heist. I give it number 2.
Not the stink.
I mean, it's still a, robber baron.
The Great Train Heist, as we had just mentioned before, is much like those season cards. It's spree. It's instead of you just choosing from beans, you must pay more. But the Great Train Heist was really good because you could either get an additional combat phase where creatures got +1/+0 in first strike, or you made a bunch of tap treasures equal to the amount of creatures that you hit somebody with. The fact that this was an instant and you had to hold up this much mana wasn't opportune, but I love anything that can be board wide, just additional combats and some nasty damage. This, of course, went into the Gobos.
Yeah, for him, we don't need extra combat, cool, whatever. You know what he's really using this for? Choose target opponent.
Yes.
Whenever
Wait,
a creature you control deals combat damage to that player, create a tap treasure token.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass for profit.
Yeah, I'm about to be rich. Please, I group hugged you. And now you're about to hug me again. That train looked awful unguarded.
Man, I just put the damsel in front of the train tracks. You stop the train?
It's too easy.
Man, you are really bad at the trolley problem.
Yeah, there's one person in front of you and 5 on the other track.
You stopped the train.
Yeah, they stopped the train.
Get robbed.
Who you got on your next instant?
So my number 3, we're gonna cheat.
Oh no, he's cheating.
I'm cheating. It is the MDFC cycle. Mainly Fell the Profane and Sink in the Stupor. That are lands. It's crazy. Like, these spells are like good and they're lands.
Yeah, they were great. And you're right. I think Fell and Sink are 2 of the better ones. But what is it? Like water slog something?
The the monocolor ones are really good. And
Yes.
then the dual color ones are crazy. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like,
All of them were good almost.
so since some of them aren't that great and some of them are good, we're just gonna put number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
And they also fell into a lot of our decks because, the idea of it could be removal, it could
It's
be
a
an
free
extra land.
slot. It's just
Yeah.
like, take out a basic. Here we go.
Yeah, almost no downside to these. For mine, I had it because I just, when I saw this card, it made me almost have a spit take. It is Bulk Up. A generic and a red for an instant. This art on this card is so good. It looks like a goblin who probably runs with his knuckles because he has no use for legs anymore. But what's crazy is the card actually is not bad. For generic and ready to get an instant that says double target creature's power until end of turn. I loved it wasn't double strike. And then it had flashback. It's pretty steep for 6, but the doubling of a power is insane, but I mainly loved it for its art.
Hey, bro, you just put this on Wolverine, somebody gonna die.
Yes, it's death.
Yeah, Wolverine's that knuckle dragger you were talking about.
Yeah, he'd be running.
Because they blew his legs off, but he regenerated.
They
He's
have-
still running at them. Just
They're not all the way back, but he's coming. It's a horrible visual.
I think that's all that's left is my number 1.
That's true.
My number 1 is not cheating. Because I think this is the best one out of the entire slate. It is Flare of Fortitude. Fortitude? But there's Cultivation, and there's the red one, and the blue one, and the black one that nobody talks about.
What are you, a discipline priest from World of Warcraft?
Flare of Fortitude is really cool because, like, you are most likely to have, like, a creature that can just buy in a white.
This one is so easy
And
to
then
pay.
it protects your entire board.
And you. Like, your life total can't change on top of that. I mean, it's just, it's wild. Flare is incredible. And the fact that this thing doesn't exile itself afterwards.
And it's $5. Like, bro.
All the flares were pretty good too. Like, most of them were good, but I agree with you. This one is grossly strong. It's like a Teferi's. But you could like, they're like, oh, he's fully tapped. I can commit. And you're like, psych. I get rid of this, you know, we'll give a great doomed traveler.
Throbbing Inspector.
No. Yeah, no. Incredible. Incredible.
Inconceivable.
You keep saying that, but I don't think you know what it means. And then for these final ones, Larry, we split them into two groups. We have legendary creatures and non-legendaries. So we will take the non-legendaries and say the best for last. There were some super cool cards that were printed in this. I definitely have a soft spot for the, any set that loves my favorite type with Goblin. And I'm going to start it off with a card that complements them in so many decks that we have created this year. It's just a powerhouse all around. We have Molten Gatekeeper. This thing is unstoppable. It has everything you want, and it's cheap, and it's got a big butt. So 2 generic and a red for an artifact golem. That's a 2/3. It states whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And then it has Unearth for a red, allowing you to return it from your graveyard. It gains haste, and then you exile it. This card has won me more games and has killed me more than I had ever thought a little measly common would be able to do. This
It
thing
doesn't deal damage to you?
No, I'm saying when other people play it.
Oh.
Yeah, there are others in our group run this thing. And it's just powerful. It fits in almost anything that makes tokens or is just trying to ping. It is so good.
I'm just fucking around.
How you feel about the gate?
How I feel about the gate guy? He's a great guy. He's a hard worker. even when it's his day off and he's chilling in the graveyard, you can call him back in for just a red mana. Like, Jeff Bezos would be impressed.
It's like, dang, he died on the shift and then clocked back in.
Clocked back in?
Oh, one more pull.
And then he dies at the end of the turn, so you don't even gets exiled at the end of the turn, so you have to give him his paycheck for real?
He gone for real.
He gone for real.
Super good card.
Super good. My number 3. Now, this is something that the scumbag always talks about that I've told him a long time ago. The premium cost for Proliferate is 4 mana.
It's ingrained into my brain.
So when you can get something that can cheat that.
Oh yeah. If there's any way to either get it for cheaper or do it more than once for the same price or less is either rare or really hard to do.
Dream Tide Whale.
Dream.
It is dream. 2 generic and a blue for a 7/5.
It's a big whale.
The big ass whale. Vanishing too. That means, you got 2 turns of this whale before it goes. But wait, there's more. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, proliferate.
I'm making whale sounds this entire time. It's this thing is so good for 3. If you build around this and you're set up for this whale, whale. If you're set up for what you need to be with this thing, and it's so good. And then if there's a player in your play group that is one of those, they're going to be dumping their hand, they're constantly playing a lot, this thing automatically starts to be relevant early. Honorable always used to help me with proliferate proliferating style decks. Sometimes they're difficult to make because you spend so much mana to set them up. Having this for cheaper and then it can be repeated is insane.
And then it's a 7/5
Yeah. Like,
in blue, like dog.
yeah, like if this thing was a 1/3, it'd still be good. Like the fact that it is good on the body as well is crazy. We didn't pull one, sadly. I did not pull a Dreamtide.
I bought mine.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I did.
You know I have terrible luck.
We are not our one friend in our play group. He is the ultimate pack opener. I swear to you, it's like the cards change inside, like he has the ability to manifest.
You know how salty I was that on the game night before Christmas Eve,
Oh my goodness.
I just got done shopping.
This is
I
very
bought
sweet of you.
everybody a pack. Just one pack for everybody. Of course,
Oh, I know. Of course.
Get Master C pulls a $35 card. And it's a $35 card that I want. I'm just like, you know what? You deserve coal.
He pulls. He's one of those guys to where, like, when you're like, man, I wish I had that card. I just can't afford it. It's ridiculous. He pulled 3 of them, and he pulled the expensive arts. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's so consistent. That's the part that's wild. It's so consistent. Oh, man. So, on to the next, though. Like I said, I've been loving the Goblin love, and I can't stop now. We got the Sear Slicer Goblin. For generic and a red, we get a 2/1 with Raid, just like that Midnight Snack. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack, that's raiding, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. We're always going to be swinging in the fact it doesn't care if it's a non-token creature or whatever. Like, there's no requirements. If you swing, get a Goblin. I love this. We're getting the thing that we love, and this thing's a 2-drop. Thank you, Wizards, for giving us more goblins.
And this is me again, gloating. My 2-drop's better than his. Aftermath Analyst. This thing is so powerful, and the fact that we got redundant of this effect made me reconstructure the way my Muldrotha ramps at all. Because now we got 3 cards that do this effect this year.
Yeah. Yo, tell me, doesn't that look like Turbo Granny?
No, it looks like Okaroon.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, it looks like Okaroon, like with Turbo Granny powers, except he's green.
And he's a detective.
He is a detective.
But you mill 3 when it enters the battlefield, and then for the generic and the green, you kill this mug, return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Oh, it's incredible. So it's like what? You have Aftermath Analyst, you got
Lumber the Bear.
You got the Sledge or Siege Wick or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Head Shredder.
Head Shredder, thank you.
Head Shredder does it differently. It has to be onto the battlefield, and then when you mill, you get them into the battlefield tapped.
But still, it's crazy.
Like,
We've gotten a lot of green mill land love and graveyard shenanigans. No, Aftermath is really cool. And then what was it? World Shaper? Yeah, it's like a World Shaper in conjunction with.
and you run World Shaper, you could play I think there's 6 cards that now do this effect. If you're still playing, if you're not in green, and you're still playing Crucible Worlds, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, because these are ripping all of them, not just allowing you to play a land. And if you already played a land for turn, Crucible literally doesn't give you an additional. It's not that it's bad, just Larry's think. And
What's
then
your number one?
my number one non-legendary is Siege Gang
Bro,
Lieutenant.
I hate you, bro. So all of them are just goblin cards?
Literally, I hate it. But this year, we got really good goblin support.
Bro, I hate you, bro.
I know. But we had a Siege Gang Commander, which is a very older card. And Siege Gang Commander isn't super bad or good. It's a neutral goblin. It's 5 mana and it's kind of heavy for what it does. Siege Gang Lieutenant gave us a lieutenant effect for the goblin type, allowing us to be able to just continue to make them. This card is one of the strongest, just strictly better upgrades I have seen for the goblins. And like I said, this year I got back to back upgrades. So no, Siege Gang Lieutenant is a super warm welcome. And yes, they were all goblin cards. I am a goblin boy.
Man, you whack. I'm gonna hit you with something even better. Illustrious Wanderglyph. You've seen this card before. It's in green.
Yeah, yes, you have.
It makes sapperlings. We got another one. It's white. It makes artifact gnomes, which are probably even stronger. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to build a board in a game, this thing needs to die. Otherwise,
And the fact if you were Selesnya too, you can run both and they're just a little happily creating a board for you. Yeah, Tender Shoe Dryad and Illustrious Wanderglyph. A match made in heaven. They're so good. I mean, they both pump the things they make and they just happily make them on each upkeep. Oh, so good. One of my favorite cards. I'm right there with you. That 5 mana, I'll pay it all day, every day.
let's get into the legendary.
Legendary alert.
I'm biased on this first one. All right,
Okay, is this number 3? Are you
this is
going
number 3.
number 3?
We from Florida. All right.
I hear you, brother.
We do.
We rolling. Yeah. Y'all
3
know.
joints in a row.
In a row. We know the phrase that pays. You were not about that life.
Ain't nothing more Floridian than the pride of Hulklade.
It's so good. I remember shout outs to a previous video. That was such a fun video to record.
Dog. It is a crocodile elk turtle.
That's right. The pride. The pride.
They
of
should
Hulkling.
scrap the Jaguars and make this thing the mascot for our team.
Oh, we no longer have Jackson
We the
DeVille.
Hulklades, the Jacksonville Hulklades.
The Jacksonville Hulklades.
Dog.
Hey, I'm just saying, we need the crocodile elk turtle.
Dog, I don't care about the effect. I don't care about what it even does.
It'd be better if he was an alligator, but we know what he is.
They know what they did when they made this card, and I felt shouted out to. I thank you, Wizards.
Thank you, Wizards.
Thank you.
It was a fun commander to make. He loves booties matters. My first one here, this was, an homage to one of my favorites and continues to be one of my favorite deck types, Voltrons. I love Voltron decks. They're always fun. They always perform. Don't get me wrong. They're super one-sided, and heaven forbid you want strategy because you're not going to find it. We made this together again. I may be biased here, but I adored some of the decks that we took the time to build for you guys, and we have a really special one here. It has won many games for me. Arna Kinnerud Sky Captain. 2 generic for an Esper for a 4/4 flying lifelink ward, discard a card, human knight. And without, going through the whole paragraph, it doubles, well, not doubles, it creates a copy of anything that is attached or put onto it, whether it's a counter or permanent. This thing is crazy. It dupes artifacts and equipments and enchantments and counters. It gets off the wall strong, and it's dirt cheap. Nobody bought this thing. Apparently it was common. I pulled one, only one, and it was the Altar, and I have never looked back. I love this little hawk duo.
Shout out to the angry commenter who was like, it doesn't double. It doesn't double, it just adds one.
It's like, yes, but we meant it's multiplicative.
I appreciate your dedication to being in the YouTube comments and correcting random YouTubers.
We want you to know this, Larry. We actually adore it because there was also one of you that was like, it's not colorless, it's generic. And we appreciate you.
We say generic every time now, just because of you.
That's right. We are trying to become better for you guys. Who you got next?
Beginning of the year. We knew that this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
The anticipation was great. It's in my favorite colors.
Yep.
I think that anybody who has watched this channel would already know what this is. This is the TW.
The TW.
Mothman. He from the South. TW.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's TW.
TW Mothman.
Bam.
Now, I'm not going to say we've never had a combat mill commander, because we did have Mirko. He's a little vampire boy.
Oh man, his effect is gross.
I think he sucks. The Mothman is like, you get mill, you get counters, you get to annoy your opponents.
It's a flyer.
You get to Voltron, like, bro, this thing's got so many different levels.
And it's low, like it's your colors in a generic. Like it's not a lot more and your colors. So it's like it's low to the ground on top of that. And a natural flyer too. Like commanders that have flying are so scary. You're forever in danger is what they boil down to. And then his effects are incredible. Rad is so powerful.
Rad is probably the best milling mechanic I have ever seen.
Oh, they did a great job.
They need to do an in-universe. Just make it rad. Just make it rad. Just make it rad. Who cares? Who cares if it's rad? It is such a good mechanic.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like, because it's a Fallout thing, like, it's okay if they change the wording. I don't care what they make it into so it can be magics. I want more rad mechanics. I agree. I want more rad mechanics because the cards that interact with rad were really cool. All of the rad cards were really rad.
Radical.
Oh, radical.
It usually doesn't get much better than Wise Mothman, but there is one.
Oh. My number 2 is Yigra, Eater of All. 3 generic black-green for a 6/6 elemental Gato that has ward, sacrifice, a food. And then what's really crazy is then every other creature then becomes a food artifact in addition to its other types. Includes mine and yours. And then whenever a food is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Yigra. I first brought this up to Honorable and was like, I foresee that this could be maybe kind of fun. I don't think it'll be that strong. And Honorable died laughing and was like, this will probably be one of the most powerful cards in the set. It might be one of them. And we set out to build it. And what's crazy is the more aggro your pod is, the faster this thing pops off. Because what's crazy is you play the cat for 5 and then you actually don't need to do anything. Like Yigra naturally will get huge just because the game is being played. People interacting with each other and just having creatures die will just make the cat huge. And 2 +1/+1s and it's already a 6/6 One thing dies and it's an 8/8. 3 things die and this thing is a 12/12. I mean, every game I played this, it like became grossly overpowered. Like Yigra, it has a special place in my heart. Like I said, shout outs to the food and just food synergies. I love Yigra.
Shout out to Wizards not putting ward on this thing. Thank you.
They did put ward on it.
Not real ward.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
This could have been like Ward 2. If this had real ward on it,
yeah,
you wouldn't be eaten. But it'd be way harder to get rid of.
Yeah. No, this card, I feel like they could have made better and worse. Like, it could have nerfed it. They put limitations on it. They didn't. They didn't put that bullcrap once per turn. And at the same time, they did make it to where you could get rid of it. So, no.
They should have made it a hippo.
Oh, man, because it's the eater of all. I adore you,
Hungry
hungry hippo. Yo, I'm going to make an art to replace Yigra as a hippo. That is absolutely.
What is that adorable little hippo that everybody loves?
Oh, Mudang. I'm gonna make him. Yeah, Mudang, eater of all.
Mudang. Isn't there a picture of her biting somebody?
Yes, we're a very spicy hippo baby.
Corn does not care where the blood. Now, some people hate Universes Beyond. They think it stinks. They don't like people enjoying other IPs outside of Magic.
How dare it interrupt my universe?
I do not agree with you.
Yeah, I used to be opposed. Now I see what they're trying to do with it genuinely, and I do like it.
The one I'm about to talk about now is probably the prime example about why people hate Universes Beyond.
Yes, this is a great example of how it's not good.
But because of who it is and what it is, this is my favorite card of the year. The best there could ever be, Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played Gruul in a long time.
Since Werewolves.
Since Werewolves.
Yeah,
and
that was the last time.
I retired that deck like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, this made me love this color combination so much. You're just like, I'm just going to beat you to death and there's nothing you can do about it.
This is, again, one of those, it's much like Arna or Yigra. You're like, oh yeah, the wording's really cool. And like you look away, you're playing, and you look back, and it's like a 6/6 now, and you're like, wait a minute. and then another turn goes by, and like 2 people are dead, and you're like, wait a minute. Like, Wolverine is so powerful. Now, I know Honorable will agree with me on this. Wizards, shame on you for not having better control on the dang site when we were trying to buy the secret layers. Shame on you for allowing people to do that jank ordering system. It was so hard to even try to place an order.
Wizards, why did you lose money on easily the
easiest,
most popular
yeah,
secret layer that you could ever do?
Yeah, you were literally printing.
How did you could have printed 1 million of these and 500,000 of these would have been gone.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. I doubt they would have had a hard time selling them. Truly. I doubt they would have had a hard time. Larry's I'm going to tell you, I was torn because my number one, after I say it, I'll explain. I was torn. My number one is Bonnie Paw Clear Cutter. 3 generic green, blue for a 6/5 cow. the bow token, I pulled a bow token, and I love cows. I have a cow tattooed on me.
It's got a heifer.
I do. I have a calf tattooed on my calf. It's my calf. And it is this, it's Simic, it's landfall, it's big lands matters, and then you beat people to death with a giant moo. I have never had more fun playing just nonsense, just ramp, big spell, big moo, and then you beat him to death. It is so much more powerful than I thought it would be. And I just, of course Simic is strong, but the bow token just won me over. And I had to build it. When I saw that you made a giant cow, I was like, I have to build this deck. And it turned out to be a hit. It plays super well. A 7-drop commander without built-in protection. You're like, dang, that's going to be really rough. I promise you it's not. And you will have Bonnie out and Bo soon enough, and you'll be beating people within a moment's notice. But remember when I said I was torn? Because I was telling Honorable I didn't pull from a secret lair when I was making this list. Because of the difficulty it was to get certain secret lairs. And I didn't think it was fair that I would rate one of my favorite cards a card that was almost impossible to get my hands on. But I have to kind of agree with Honorable. One of my favorite cards was Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Like, again, Wizards, I'm so mad at you for making it difficult for us to be able to get them. But the Iron Man card is like, it's one of the greatest commanders ever, in my opinion now. Honorable knew how to make me the happiest vicious scumbag ever. And that was because he helped me make a pod. He's the perfect pod commander for artifacts. And he brought to my attention I could use it to make a Throne of the Empires deck, which is so close to my heart because it was something I learned how to play Magic with. And it's such a they're horrible artifacts technically. And Iron Man kind of makes them work. And I have played that deck almost every game for every game night since we've made it. I can't stop playing it. And it's fun every game. So, Larry's, for the sake of it, my honorable mention is Iron Man. It could easily be my number one spot.
That sums up 2024. Throw that bitch in the trash can and get her out of here. 2025 is here.
It's the year of the Larry.
You about to get bigger than ever. Ooh. Oh, did you end it?
No, not at all.
Doesn't look like it's recording. Oh.
Larry's, this is our 3 breakdowns of some of our favorite cards. I'd love to hear what you guys kind of fell in love with this year. Some of the things that got released. Please let us know in the comments anything that you guys felt was, I can't believe they printed this. Oh, an honorable shout out. They did a lot of frogs. So many things got love this year that weren't necessarily around before. So, no, I'd love to hear what you guys loved and hated too.
Hey, bruh. You know what? If we get 15 likes on here, we'll do the top 3 cards we hated.
Ooh.
Despise from 2024.
That's right.
So hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and do us a favor. I am your honorable sensei, and across from me,
the vicious scumbag.
And together we are Longturnlarry's
Podcast
2024.